I was thinking about this build over the night, because I tend to do that. And I just had to build a bit more holiday. Holiday ain't gonna stop me from doing that. Let's see. And I think we'll see what happens when we start adding some trees, but this might end up might be better as like a big mega city type deal. Especially very gothic and dark and spooky, rather than trying to shove terrain up here. Because I was thinking maybe use these, turn these into like some big aqueducts, you know, we can get like large arches to get a little smaller through, or even keeping some of the swoop that we have here, but bringing it up to here and having this wall actually be a giant aqueduct all the way around. And we can either like make big arches, or like just have this a big gateway, but like expand, like thicken this all up and everything. That might look super cool. Like no wrong answer either way we go about that, but I thought that could really add more to the whole vibe and still give everything some unique character. Just a thought. Because otherwise, like, I mean, we still need to do like the whole bowl thing. And I was thinking about how I might be able to do that. I might get away with elevation tool or the slope tool. Yeah. Where we take elevation like this, and then down here, and actually, first things first, let's magic select. Why is it crossing through? I feel like it shouldn't be crossing through. Is it because this isn't underneath it? So it's like, you expect it to stop right there. I would expect it to stop right there. It's because it just doesn't go down one block, so it needs to go down one block. It's like if I magic select this, it stops. Annoying. You know, I know if I do a fill, might be able to do that. Extrude this up, extrude that up, do a fill. Extrude. Do. Extrude. And then fill. Why? Why? Oh. This is it. It's this down here. Isn't it? Okay, wait. Because it stops there. Goes over there. It should stop right there, because there's no grass. Why no stop? Okay. Still going kind of hard. Let's fix them a little softer. Okay, well that's being weird, but at least the flood fill's working fine. But what do we want to fill this with so I can start extruding up? I think stone is the block. Do emerald, just to kind of like give us... No, I think I want something like... Oh, because it's clone, not stacking. I thought I was in stack. I wonder why this is weird. And that's why. That's why it's being weird. Because it wasn't connected at the edge there. Okay, so we do this. All cobblestone right now, that's fine. And then we just start bringing it up. Now, one way to kind of do that, not stack, smear. Okay, so that's not quite gonna do it. Alright. Cancel. I'm just gonna kind of keep figuring it out. Still not quite it. Still not quite the shape. How do we lift? Another thing we could do, magic select the cobble. Just the cobble. That's selected. We do elevation or slope. Not quite gonna do it. do we do this? Because I want to maintain this bowl shape that's kind of here, but I just don't know how. Dang. How do I maintain this bowl shape and bring everything up? I guess I could just kind of try to bring it up piece by piece with in line here and just keep it in line the whole way up while rotating slowly around. I have very definitive chunks where it will go up here and here, etc. No! I like this swoop. I like this angle a lot. How do we maintain it? I'm going to skip this one. Not because this one's hard, but because I've been listening so much remix. So much of the remix soundtrack. Just so much. Okay. I don't really want to do this all by hand, but what if instead I do path, keep existing. Okay. If I do it like this, I can then just slowly start extruding up. This might work. This might do it. Get me to where I want to go. And it's kind of jank, but if it works, it works. It works. Let's see. How's this looking? Kinda. I don't know if this is actually gonna get me the right kind of curve up to where it looks. We'll see. We'll commit for right now and see what happens. But because this was... Hold on. Because this is a cardinal one. And what I mean by that, it's the north, northeast, south, and west. The cardinal ones are different from all the others because they're at perfect right angles. I might not be able to get that to work. This count here would be different than it is here than it is here. But let's see. what I can do is from here just extrude each section up to this line. Oh, this might be okay. If I feel like I'm off by one, I feel like I should have done this to here. Technically, it's a little. It's weird because technically this isn't as far down as this one, but it does look like I probably should have connected it here. It does look like I'm a diagonal off on each one. So let's. That sucks, but let's fix that now before I commit anymore. That does look better. I don't think there's a way around that, so we'll just put you right there. And I think we should just accept that this should technically be down one now. How would we fix this across the board? All of these are up. Now, something I could do is raise this, but it should technically be like a road. Could just lift all of it. If I come through up here and lift all of this by one. I can make my mind up on that a little later, though. I don't actually have to make my decision now. And we'll see. But I do think that looks better than it did over here. So we'll keep it there. Oh, need to check something right quick. Does that change my gameplay camera at all? No. Okay. I don't know, my chat camera was so weird, but I needed to check something. The answer is no and no. Great, not a problem. We're done connecting all of this, and we'll see how it looks. Hopefully hopefully it's okay. No, I messed that up. Alright, be safe. Might as well start down this each time, because we always want it to be on the corner of the next level up. Level up. I really hope this comes together. Let's see, how's this looking so far? As a scaffolding, it doesn't look terrible. It's getting steeper at a good rate. As long as I don't look too closely, I'm not gonna make myself dizzy either. Probably move the enter key to like something else. Let me see, option, controls, key, no, actually it might be in here. Basic? Confirm. Why does Discord want to have access to my mouse? I say nay. Let me interrupt this program to update my mouse, I guess, because that's what I have to do these days. Please wait while we update GHub. Great. Not able to bind it to... I was hoping to bind it to a mouse button, but it doesn't look like I can. Check the Axiom Discord. Actually, hold on. Let's see, virtual. Yeah, there's our on-screen keyboard. Wait, no, not like this. On-screen keyboard. So here, on-screen keyboard, but it's not showing quite what I want. Options. Okay, there we go. And then what we'll do is here. All right, so I've tried that with the on-screen keyboard and with mouse. Alright, I just asked in the Axiom Discord. They'll probably just confirm what I'm already guessing, which is I can't bind this to the numpad. That's annoying. That just means that I have to pick my hand up and press enter every time I do this, and that's, you know, not ideal. I would have liked to have bound it to something on my thumb. I just don't know what else I would bind there, really. It's a very first world problem. It is going to be a little long if I have to do this for all 16 sections, but, well, minus 4, so 12 sections, but you get what I mean. Y'all are pretty smart. But I think this might work out. I think this might get me my bowl shape though. We do it like this. We do it again over here. Okay, I guess it is 16 sections. But yeah. But if we do take the time to wrap this all around, I think this might give me that bowl shape, and I think it'll come out really cool. And what we can do is we can build on top of this another structure, just kind of mirroring it, but taller. Maybe not in the cardinal directions, but definitely on these. And we attached up here, and we make it kind of like, I'm thinking like big aqueducts. I think that would look really cool and kind of help make everything feel a little smaller, because help dwarf things, and adjust the scale a bit as we start putting stuff in here. We let this just be like the base of it as it gets up to here, as it builds up to here. And then we have like this ridge up here, which I'm not 100% sure what we'll put up here. I'll figure that out when we get there. And a lot of this might end up being broken up as we get there in the first place. Honestly, I probably could have done these paths straight down to the floor and it would have been just fine. Because you can do it where extend the ground. This probably would have been fine too. Let's see. How does this look for a while? I didn't realize that all of this is one block lower. Okay, I guess I couldn't have made up my mind earlier. Oh no. Or later, I mean. Oh no. I have to bring all of the cardinals up. Okay, you know what? I think what we'll do is I'm gonna this sucks. But what we're gonna do why must you hurt me like that? Yeah. So let's see, I'm gonna take all this grass. I mean, all, you know what, I'm changing all of this to grass anyway, so, or all of this anyway, so screw it. Okay. I don't understand why I keep pressing the wrong button. Like I've lost my brain. Just gonna wait this up. Honestly, it's kind of the easiest way to do it. Better. Okay. All right, now. Alright, my game's starting to lag out. Let's go ahead and reset that world before I start having memory problems. Alright. The cardinal ones need to go up by 1. I think my easiest way of doing that, honestly, is we do a magic select. We take this, Control J to duplicate. Look straight down, and we just go up 1. If I do it like that, doesn't quite do it, does it? Make sure we have everything. Control J to duplicate. Up by 1. Alright, that at least puts it at the same level as this, and that'll help out when I'm doing the rest of this. In worst case, I'll just carve this back down later. That's easy peasy lemon squeeze. That's easy to do. Okay. I want to see if anyone's... Duplicate up by 1, set it down. Okay, let's do it again. Duplicate all by 1. Okay, so that's 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. Now if I do a path, the cardinal, but we'll keep that one there for now. Let's do this. I want to keep existing. Be there. As long as I'm consistent, so from here. Okay, so let's see. Here. Whichever the first one is on the next elevation, that's kind of what I'm going for, and I'm just going to keep it as consistent as I can so we don't like get messed up on the way. Because like when you were dealing with this kind of scale, even a single block off can throw things. And like it really shouldn't matter at the end level, but you know, you want to take your time and do it right. So you're not having to redo a whole lot. All right, let's see. I think we're making progress, truthfully. Seeing this like actually rise up like this, I think this might work. Now, if I were to change all of this, First on the next elevation. And then all of this is going to get filled in. This is just the scaffolding. Not sure. Kind of warming up to the idea of mega city, but I want to start getting some buildings plotted out before we dive into that. Just kind of get an idea for like what the scale would actually be in here, because it's hard to know until you get some structure. Who knows? We might have space for some like rolling hills or something. I don't really have a high hope for that, but we might, and I could be pleasantly surprised. Like, you could do nature and like biomes via little parks and stuff. You could definitely still get representation for it all. And I say city, but we could also go for like a prison type deal. I just knew I wanted the tower in the center, but and I know it kind of gives thought to giant prison. Ad break, gross. It's a long way to do it for sure, but I think it's gonna pay off. I feel like it's gonna pay off. so I can get a better idea, get some contrast. But yeah, I think this is gonna go okay. And we'll see how it looks as one big bowl going in. And then from there, we'll get these bigger, much larger. Well, not much, but at least get more of a curve that ends up at the top here. Probably go ahead and just expand this wall. We'll keep this as the center of it, but I like the idea of turning this kind of into a giant aqueduct. We'll try to put in some arches, but of course with a big curve like this, that could be difficult, but might be worth it. And I could make for the natural entrance here, if we do like a big archway at each cardinal direction, and then we just do some like carved in ones elsewhere. And we have all of this feeding into like this large aqueduct, which could then either feed down further into here, or just kind of like go around, and I think that would look really cool. Would also, for smart players, provide a means of kind of quickly traveling from out here down into the city, because you could, if we do it the curve right, be able to ride a boat all the way down. I think that'd be kind of cool. Be able to take a boat all the way down as a means of like getting from A to B kind of quickly-ish. Because something I wanted to throw by M is, instead of like teleporting people all over the place, have them kind of figure it out. I want to see if I can get him into this world a little bit. I'm going to pitch some ideas as far as like what we could be doing here. Where what they do out there will help with games inside here, but anything they bring into the game, they might lose. So they have to be careful and kind of tactical about that. So the best stuff might have to be saved for some like feature games or something. Definitely plenty of space for activity in here. We could even like shrink this if we want to. I made the tower this big, mostly out of scale. But as long as the actual tower itself is about yay-ish big, even this is a huge amount of space. Plenty of space for many games, for sure. Wish I knew a faster way to do this. See, so the reason I'm doing it like this is because if I try to extrude, starting from the bottom, it would just go all the way. Like, there's no easy way for me to say extrude everything but like these blocks. I have to have some step to like, so it like to stop it. Some marker of like this is the next elevation, so it stops. Because you know it'll lift up everything at a specific elevation. So I figure if I do it like this, worst case scenario, I'm extruding out, kind of like what we did back there. I can extrude it this way towards the camera, and that would help. And I just know that there has to be a better way to do this, because this is a lot of steps, and I'm going to have to do it for a lot. And if I mess one up and don't catch it, it's just going to look, it will stick out, and it'll look kind of bad. Like, there's no way around that. But that is smooth. I just don't know how to like fill this in without it being line by line by line. There has to be a way, right? You would think. I mean, even extruding isn't guaranteed. Cause see this, how this comes out. It's not like it's gonna, all of this is gonna come out in one easy way. Looks what happens here. If I were to extrude this up, like, if I extrude up and then up, and if this was cobblestone, it would go up again. So that's what I want to avoid. Get it flat to here, flat to there, like this. And I guess if we're gonna do this instead of an extrusion, since I'm doing these as like these big channels, what I would actually do is the flood tool. Flood fill, because that way I can just fill all of these to the edge that I need them to fill at. So for like this one, it can fill up to here. This one it would fill, so it would always be the left edge on this on the camera side. But you see, kind of like what you see with the flood field, if I go up one, it overflows. I don't know an easy way to do this curve without it being put in the work like this. Thanks, Redbot. I'm dying. There goes my YouTube version of Quackbot. We're nearly done with at least this section, but we can see how long it took me to do just this, so... I am curious. I don't know what tool I would use. I don't know how I would use another tool to do this any faster. I think it really is, kind of comes down to this. Which ain't ideal, not great. You would hope it could be better. another problem is you see this bow? I don't have that here. So this goes up, but it doesn't actually bow. So it's like 95% of the way there. But you look at this, it doesn't have this. It doesn't have the... I was hoping if, like, ideally I would have been able to do one giant hollow orb, because you can kind of see the shape of it here. That's what I would want, is to kind of follow that same thing. I want it to feel like a sphere, and it's not quite there. Now granted, once I fill, it might kind of be hidden anyways. The fact that there's no flood, or no like bow shape. But I don't know. I don't think like another like spoke in the middle of here, probably it would have hidden it a bit better, but wouldn't have solved it completely. I just would have had a smaller one, right, like sliver right here of open space, but might have hit it a bit better. What I'm wanting is I'm wanting to kind of have this bowl. I like the idea of the landscape all coming down in a smooth way, and then when we go to put it in buildings, we'll just carve out sections that we want buildings, roads, and stuff. But I wanted the landscape there first to act as like this, you know, to give us that shape that we would then build upon. walk down this and we'll kind of see what happens when we have everything filled up. I can stop extruding the wrong thing. Maybe the only one that I have to do this with, and then for all the rest, I should be able to use the fill tool. That. Stop it. Israel needs to stop making that dumb mistake. I did it again. And I'm only halfway there. It's not, I don't know if it's gonna quite be there because I'm God. Goodness gracious, meh. Making sure we don't have any gaps. We don't. Oh. Ideally, this would all be curved a little bit more, but I think it might be hidden a bit, and that'll be okay. I don't quite understand what in the blazes happened here, and I hate that. When did this happen? So long ago. This must have happened over here. Crap. It did. It happened way over here. Look at all of this. All because I didn't do that. Dang. Okay, first things first, let's do that. Oh. That sucks. That sucks. Okay. Well, it happens. It happens. It happens. Gonna do that all over again. I don't know, my soul can handle that right now. All right, so I'm gonna take some pictures. I'm gonna reach out to some other people, see if I can get help for an idea on how to better do this. Because I mean, I will do it. I will sit here and do this piece by piece all the way around to get the shape that I want. But I wonder if there's a better way. I'm just want to make sure I'm still keeping the habit of getting online every day, and I definitely have done so. I meant to hit outro. So I'm gonna go ahead and